You know what I'm saying? Like, be the woman that you keep saying you want to be. That's been. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. My name is Kimberly Louise and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. Today's video is going to be different from the videos that I've done this past month. We are going to be doing a book study / review, and today's book is this one right here. It's The Resolution for Women by Priscillashirer. This is actually a revised copy of the book that she did. I think she did one like, I'm not sure how long ago, maybe 10 years ago. And this one is edited, and I didn't read the first one, but this one, it's so good. I can't wait to talk about it. I hope you'll join me if this is something that you're interested in. Okay, so basically this is what I like to call a resource, something that you will look back at again and again on your walks with the Lord. So this book basically there are, I believe, 13 resolutions, and essentially after each section of the book there is a place where you can sign your name. Sometimes it will ask you to like have somebody like that will hold you accountable, that when you're signing it, you'll sign it in front of them. So it kind of looks like that down at the bottom. But I'm going to go ahead and read you the 13 resolutions, and then I'm going to point out the ones that really stood out to me. So here it goes. The first one says, I will embrace my current season of life and will maximize my time in it. I will resist the urge to hurry through or circumvent any portion of my journey, but will live with a spirit of gratitude and contentment. The second one says, I will champion God's model for womanhood in the face of a culture that seeks to undermine it. I will teach it to my daughters and encourage its support to my sons. Number 3, I will accept and celebrate my uniqueness and will esteem and encourage the distinctions I admire in others. Number 4, I will live as a woman answerable to God and faithfully committed to learning and living out His word. Number 5, I will seek to devote the best of myself, my time, and my talents to the primary roles the Lord has entrusted to me in this phase of my life. Number 6, I will be a woman who is quick to listen and slow to speak. I will care about the concerns of others and esteem them more highly than myself. Number 7, I will forgive those who have wronged me and reconcile with those I have wronged. Number 8, I will not tolerate evil influences, even in the most justifiable form, in myself or my home, but will embrace and encourage a life of purity. Number 9, I will pursue justice, love mercy, and extend compassion towards others. Number 10, I will be faithful to my husband and honor him in my conduct and conversation in order to bring glory to the name of the Lord. I will aspire to be a suitable partner for him to help him reach his God-given potential. Number 11, I will demonstrate to my children how to love God with all their hearts, minds, and strength, and will train them to respect authority and live responsibly. Number 12, I will cultivate a peace and grace-filled life where everyone can sense God's presence, not only through acts of love and service, but also through the pleasant and grateful attitude with which I perform them. And number 13, I will make today's decisions with tomorrow's impact in mind. I will consider my current choices in light of those who will come after me. Get this book. If you're a Christian woman, just get this book. I feel like she gives a lot of stories in here, kind of about a little bit about her life and her story and her journey sprinkled throughout here. And it's just so good. I have so many. The book is basically highlighted. I don't know if y'all could tell. It's highlighted all the way through. Like, I see myself coming back to this book so many times. So the first one that I would like to point out for me was I will embrace this current season of my life one. And the reason that this one, because there's 5 that really, really kind of gripped me this year. This one, because sometimes we like to rush. We want to get to the next phase, right? We want to we want to be there. We don't want to be here. Like, for whatever reason. And then it's like you look up and you're so ready for the next season that you've skipped past all the beautiful things in this one. You've skipped past the clouds outside, the trees, the birds chirping. You've skipped past just some of the quiet moments where you're just hanging out. Like, you've skipped past that because you're so, we're such a goal-oriented culture where you got to reach the next goal, okay? Once that goal's done, reach the next goal. You don't even take the time to sit and be like, wow, I was able to reach this goal. Instead, you're like, okay, well, what's next? I think sometimes being content is hard for a lot of us. We say we're content, but we're not. Like, if you're content with what you have, you won't be on Amazon every day. You know what I mean? Like, if you really are content with what you have, I think we have to learn to live with a spirit of gratitude and thankfulness to the Lord for all that we have. And that's kind of what she says in here when she talks about being content. She also, at the end of, I think it was, yes, it's on page 17 if you choose to get this book. It says, that's been me, always looking toward the next moment, the next month, the next event, rarely allowing myself the privilege of fully participating and embracing the happenings that were right before me that day. And that hit me because I do that. I don't know about y'all, but I do that. And so that was really, really impactful to me. The second one was number 4. It says, I will live as a woman answerable to God and faithfully committed to learning and living out his word. You guys, this YouTube channel is basically that. I think the Lord has placed this before me to hold me accountable to studying his word, to spending time in his word, to really just spending time with him and really like diving deeper into it. Like, I want to answer to God that I was faithful in what he placed before me. So that was big for me. The third one that was big for me was number 6. It says, I will be a woman who is quick to listen and slow to speak. And there is I need to find this quote. It was so good. She was saying, I think it's page 238. She says, truly, the wise woman doesn't always seek to be heard or validated, but sometimes, in order to protect and preserve relationships, in order to invite peace back into her sphere of influence, she chooses a soft, delicate, gentle response in place of one that's sharp and explosive, harmful, and wandering. This was in the chapter on living with grace, but all of the book works together, but it just reminded me that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up strife. And it's so true. It's like sometimes we feel like we got to be quick to say something. We got to be quick to respond because we think if, you're not going to offend me, you're not going to hurt me. And it's like the Lord is saying, I can fight your battles. Like, you don't have to be yelling and screaming all the time and doing all that. Let the Lord fight your battles. I think that's kind of what he means when he says that as women, we should have a gentle and quiet spirit. For the longest, I thought that meant that I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't say anything. I should just let stuff happen. And that's not what he's saying. He's saying, you are a woman of God. You trust me. So you walk like that. So you go to me. You give your cares to me. So you don't have to yell and scream at somebody else because you're giving your cares to the Lord. And she kind of talks about that in this book. I think it's the 4th one that I enjoyed, that I really have been working this year to cultivate in my house is, I will cultivate a peaceful and grace-filled life where everyone can sense God's presence, not only through acts of love and service, but also through the pleasant and grateful attitude with which I perform them. So I love to host people. It's something I enjoy. I love to cook for them, bake. I love baking and all of those things. And one of the things that when we got this new house, I told my husband, I said, this is going to be a place of refuge and peace for people. And I kid you not, even my niece, she came over. I had her for a few days. She came over, she fell asleep on the couch, and she woke up and she said, Auntie, your house is so calm and peaceful. And it just did my heart so good to know that, like, even a child, a young lady rather, can sit in my space and the Spirit of God can just rest here, and that when people come, they know that, they feel that spirit, that he's here, that he's with us, and that did my heart so good. And then the last one that really has impacted me this year is, I will make today's decisions with tomorrow's impact in mind. I will consider my current choices in light of those who will come after me. I think sometimes we just do stuff. We're not thinking about who's gonna come after us. We're not thinking about, my kid might see this. Sometimes we don't even think about that. We're just doing what we want to do. I want to live a life that leaves a legacy that says, hey, my mom did this, or my mom did that, or my aunt was like this. When I went to her house, she always had something for me, or I felt like I could just rest at her house. Like, I want to be remembered. Well, I want to be the woman. I think a lot of YouTubers and people say this. They're like, let's be who we want to be. Essentially, the woman we keep saying, I want to be her. I want to be a woman that get up early. Then just start getting up early. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the woman that you keep saying you want to be. That's been big for me. Like, I want to get up early, just get up early. I want to be somebody that walk every day. Now I've been walking every day. Like, all the things we keep saying, just start doing them. This book, I'm going to read to you some of my favorite quotes from this book. So I have a reading journal. I recommend you get one if you read a lot like I do. They have them on Amazon. Of course, I had to get rose gold. Y'all know. But this one just, it's like succinct. It's very, very compact, but you can get some of your main points in here. So I wrote down some of my favorite quotes. On page 102, it says, maybe you envisioned yourself running a Fortune 500 company rather than being a homemaker. And yet I wonder if some of those same skills you hone and enjoy using in other settings are exactly the best of you that God would have you bring to the job of being CEO of the day-to-day operation in your home. If you guys didn't know, I am a homemaker, so that hit home for me as well. The next one is on page 98. It says, most likely you don't have a poor work ethic or bad character. You're just allowing yourself to be pulled in too many different directions. Y'all, it's like you just allow yourself to be, you say yes to everything. I don't know who I'm talking to. Somebody on here says yes to everything. And you got to allow God to direct your life. You got to say, hey, Lord, these are the things on my agenda. Is there something on this list that I shouldn't do? The next one is on page 57. It says, this is truly who you are, a woman chosen, a woman set apart, a woman appointed. So yeah, there's so much in this book. I could go on and on. I really would love to just read this to y'all, but we don't have that kind of time. And I know y'all not gonna stay for that, but I suggest getting this book. It is so good. It is so impactful. It has changed my view on a lot of things in my life, and it's helped me to trust God more. It's helped me to just put my faith in him, to just know that the season that I'm in is the one that I'm supposed to be in. And my friend, the season that you're in is the one that you're supposed to be in. You're not supposed to be far ahead. You're not supposed to be, you can't go back and change anything in the past. Where you are is where you're supposed to be. Thank you so much for joining me today for my first book study / review. I pray that it helped you in some way, and that if it did, that you'll go pick up this book. Thank you so much for watching. God is God and we are not, so we trust him and we let him do his thing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next week on Wednesday and next Friday for my next book. Have a blessed day.